All right. This is multiplying fractions for your foundational skills homework number 2, multiplying fractions. So questions 15 through 24. 15 through 24. Before we start multiplying fractions, we have to talk about simplifying fractions. Okay, we have to know how to simplify fractions first. I probably will put this on a future foundational skills homework. I should have done it for this one, but it's too late. That's okay. So simplifying fractions, we do that with division. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to look for a number that divides both of the numbers. We want to look for a number that divides both of the numbers. A little trick that I do is if I see that they're both even numbers, I just cut them in half by dividing by 2. So write this in your notes. Divide by 2 if they're even. That's going to equal 3 over 15. Okay, so now we have 3 over 15. And by the way, 6 over 30 is equal to 3 out of 15. So if you have 30 pieces of a pie and you eat 6 of them, that's the same as having 15 pieces of a pie and eating 3 of them. Okay, now, this second part of the question, right here, we have a 3 on top and a 15 on the bottom. Those are odd numbers. So the next thing I'm going to check is I'm going to check to see if they're divisible by 3, which they are. So then you want to divide by 3. Okay, the reason I chose 3 was because 3 is on top. That's the only number that divides into 3. So I just have to check to see if 3 divides into 15. And it does. You get 5 on the bottom because 15 divided by 3 is 5 and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, and this is simplified. All right? Okay, now check this out. This is pretty cool. If I take this fraction, I'm noticing that the top number's even and the bottom number's even. Right away, I just divide that by 2. Okay? Divide that by 2. And you get 8 over 20. Okay? Now, 8 over 20, both of those numbers are even. So I can divide by 2 again. And I get 4 over 10. Okay? 4 over 10, both of those numbers are even again. So I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, you get 2 over 5. Okay, 2 does not go into 5, so this is simplified. Okay, let's talk about this one real quick. Okay, if you can, try to do all of this dividing in your head. Try to think about it in your head. Take half of 16, which is 8. Take half of 40, which is 20. And then in your head, you would say, okay, those numbers are even, so I could divide it in by 2 again. So then I divide it by 2 again. I get 4 over 10. I do that in my head, so I don't have to write it down. And then I'm like, oh, those are even again, 2 out of 5. Okay? Whenever you need to write it down, that's fine. But I recommend doing it in your head. Okay? Also, I do know, I'm not teaching it this way because I think that's something you should learn like back in middle school. Okay, so this is just a trick for always getting it. I do know that 16 out of 40, they're both divisible by 8. Because if I divide by 2 and then divide by 2 again and then divide by 2 again, that's dividing by 8. So that's going to equal 2 out of 5. And there's our answer that we got earlier. So this would be faster. If you know that they're both divisible by a bigger number, use that greater common factor. Okay. So this last one. The top number is 14, which is even. The bottom number is 49, which is not even. So 2 does not work. So what you have to start thinking about is you have to start thinking about what other numbers go into 14. Okay? 3 does not go into 14. So you can't use the number 3. 5 doesn't go into 14. 4 doesn't go into 14. 6 doesn't go into 14. But 7 goes into 14. So if you divide that by 7, you need to check to see if 49 is divisible by 7, which it is. 49 divided by 7 is 7. So you get 2 out of 7. Okay? So let's jump to multiplying fractions. So what we're going to do when we multiply fractions is we need to make sure that both of the numbers are a fraction. So you need to know the fact that every single whole number, like 54 for example, can be written over 1. So I can write 54 over 1. Okay? If I had the number 5, 5 can be written 5 over 1. So every number can be written over 1. Okay, now, to multiply fractions, you're going to multiply the top. Multiply the top. 8 times 54, do it in your calculator. Totally fine. Totally fine. I think you get 432. Okay? Over 9 times 1 is 9. Right? Then you would want to see, is 432 divisible by 9? Okay? I don't think it is. So then you would try to simplify this fraction. So see if 9 can go into 432. Check to see if 3 can go into 432, which I think it does, by the way. So we can divide this by 3. Okay? 3 goes into 432. Ooh, man. 144 times 3. Okay? Is this a lot of work? Maybe, but I wanted to show you that this right here is actually quite simple. Multiplying fractions is quite simple. You just have to make sure that both of the numbers are fractions. Multiply the top, multiply the bottom. That's it. And then simplify if you can. If you can't simplify and Alex tells you to simplify, then you just need to find a number that divides both. Okay. Okay, here we go. We got to get rolling here. So it's number 17. Let me see how much time I have left. Okay, I got 2 minutes. That's fine. So number 17, we have 2 over 7 times 4 over 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 7 times 9 is 63. Done. Okay? I know from my brain that 4 does not go into 63, 8 does not go into 63, 2 does not go into 63, so I'm all good. Okay? 18. Number 18. I have 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 7, 35. Done. Done. Multiply the top, multiply the bottom, because both of the numbers were fractions. Okay. Number 24, last one. We're going to multiply the top. 4 times 4. So I'm going to go right here. 4 times 4 is 16 over 35. Times 7 over 9. Okay? Little trick right here. Little trick. If you see this, you can use this trick. Check this out. I know 7 goes into 35. So I can reduce this by dividing that by 7. And I can divide this by 7. So I could simplify this multiplication problem. Make that 16 over 5 times 1 over 9. I get 16 over 45. If you have no idea what I just did right there, that's totally fine. Just do 16 times 7 and then 35 times 9. And you're all good. Okay. All right, that should be it. Hopefully that helps multiplying fractions. Multiply the top, multiply the bottom. You guys got this.